Hey guys, it's time to Nefis and Chill. In this video, we're going to be going over the changes to Bash for Update 32. I intended to cover this earlier, but time was no ally of mine. But we can go over it right now, because some people have questions about Bash and the changes to Bash for this patch. So Bash was changed. It now has a cooldown of 333 milliseconds, so basically you can cast it up to 3 times per second. They also significantly reduced the cost of Bash from 1889 base cost down to 765, and this has contributed to a couple of things like martial knowledge being a little harder to use on DPS because you can't just keep it down anymore with just bash weaving. You can do things like spalter ruin with MK DPS, and of course the damage now scales on different things, basically your combined physical and spell resistances. Which is a little weird, and that's why I kind of want to test, is the damage of Bash viable now? Or rather, optimal, in some sense. And they also reduced the cooldown phase after activating Bash that prevented you from casting other active abilities down to 333 milliseconds. And there were a couple other things too, like the damage from bashing can now trigger enchantments and poisons. So, along with this patch came the Deadlands Demolisher set, which I was pretty interested in. Max stamina, weapon and spell damage, max stamina, and of course, when you do bash, your bashes deal 935 more damage. And immediately I thought to myself, well, if bash now scales off of your combined resistances, probably this is kind of going for like a bruiser kind of type build in heavy armor. And of course, I combined this set with Veiled Inheritance with a typical damage proc set such as Stormfist. So is it viable? Does it feel nice? Well, I think certainly it's viable in the sense that anything can be viable in ESO as far as some content goes. I mean, I'm sure you can bash your way to victory in a lot of the base veteran content, overland content, whatever, delves, world bosses. Is it optimal? Probably not. There's a couple of weird things with Bash still, even after these changes. The first weird thing is obviously the fact that it scales off of exclusively of your, not just your enchantments and poisons and whatever damage that comes from that, or proccing sets, but it also comes from combined resistances. And that's not the greatest modifier to have for this kind of stuff. And the second weird thing is Bash does not generate ultimate light attacks do. So every 9 seconds I have to light attack anyway, which feels really weird, not light attacking at all. Just kind of replacing Bash or light attacks with bashes. Number wise, on a cursory glance, it's not the greatest either. And I think for sure there's some element of fun to making a build exclusively for bashing down people in PvP or Battlegrounds or something, as pummeling Goliath. But outside of that, and maybe outside the fun builds for maybe overland content and stuff like that, I don't really find bashing to be an attractive DPS option outside of that fun element. But yeah, as you can see, probably light attacks. Bashing will probably not come anywhere close to light attacks for actual raids or PvE trials, so I don't recommend it. But overall, something to look at, and maybe this video will give some people some ideas about a bash build or something. But that's pretty much all I want to talk about in this video. Thanks for watching, appreciate you guys, and have a wonderful rest of your time. Stay safe and have fun.